All right, let's get right into it. Look, this isn't about your average tips and tricks. We're about to declassify a completely new way of thinking about competitive gaming, and it's a mindset pulled straight from elite military doctrine. This is about turning you from just another player into an absolute predator.
And this right here, this really sets the tone. The whole idea is to fundamentally shift your identity. It's about moving away from being a reactive shooter, the guy who just kind of stumbles into 50-50 fights, and becoming a strategic hunter who controls every single engagement before it even starts.
So where do we even begin a transformation like that? Well, it all starts up here, in your head. The very first step is that you have to consciously learn to override your instincts. We are literally replacing those emotional gut reactions with a cold, hard, analytical framework. I mean, just look at the difference here. On one side, you have the typical gamer instinct. It's reactive, it's emotional, and it relies on these clever little tricks someone saw in a stream. But the operator, they're analytical, they're cold. They don't use tricks, they use a constantly updated database of hard data. It's a completely different operating system for your brain. And this process, this is what's known as the shadow work. It's all about digging in and understanding the deep principles that make the elites, well, elite. It's not just about learning what to do, but really truly understanding why you're doing it. This is the foundation that separates the amateurs from the pros. Okay, so let's get practical. First things first, you have to stop thinking of your rifle as just a tool you point and click. From this moment on, your rifle is a science experiment, and you, my friend, are the lead scientist. Mastering its physics isn't just a good idea, it's non-negotiable. The science we're talking about is called digital ballistics. See, every single shot you take is governed by three main forces. There's muzzle velocity, that's how fast the bullet leaves the barrel. There's gravity, the constant downward pull. And then there's drag, the air slowing it down over distance. Your job is to become an expert in these variables. And here is the absolute key. You don't shoot at your target. You shoot where your target is going to be. And this isn't some wild guess. It's a calculation. It's based on data. The time it takes for your bullet to travel is what determines your lead. And this right here, this is your dope, your data on previous engagements. You are going to build this database relentlessly. And this is exactly why your weapon choice has to be a data-driven decision. Just look at this. At 400 meters, the VSS bullet takes more than double the time to get there compared to the M24. Think about that. That means you have to lead your target by more than twice the distance. Knowing this data, cold, is literally the difference between a hit and a miss. Okay, now we're getting to the heart of it all, the absolute core of this entire system. This is the secret mental framework that allows an operator to process the battlefield and act decisively, way faster than their opponent. It's called the OODA loop. So the loop has 4 stages: observe, orient, decide, and act. Now, you're already doing this, right? But you're doing it unconsciously. The hunter masters each step, turning it into this lightning-fast continuous cycle. You observe raw data, you orient yourself by checking it against what you already know, you decide on a plan, and then you act with precision. And this is where the operator gets that insane advantage. I mean, look at the difference. A basic player, they see a guy, their brain just goes, I should fight. But the operator observes specific data, the weapon type, the direction, the game state. And in the orient phase, which is the most important part, they form a hypothesis to predict what that enemy will do. Their decision isn't just fight, it's set an ambush. So the result isn't some messy 50-50 brawl, it's a clean, efficient kill.
All right, so how do we actually put this loop into practice on the ground? Well, it's all about disciplined movement and learning to interpret every single clue the environment is giving you. You have to learn to read the story the map is telling you.
Your number one tool for collecting data is SLLS, stop, look, listen, and sense. This needs to become muscle memory. Never, ever run for more than 10 seconds without taking a quick 3-second halt in cover to run this check. This simple discipline is what constantly feeds fresh, new data into your OODA loop, and it's what keeps you one step ahead. This is when you start to see the matrix, you know? The map is telling you a story. A building with all the doors closed either means it's totally unlooted or it's a trap. A car parked just a little too perfectly behind a rock? Yeah, an enemy put it there. And a fresh death crate? That's not loot. That's a dinner bell telling you an enemy is very close and probably distracted.
Which brings us to our final, and honestly our most important principle. Your rifle is not your primary weapon. Your mind is your primary weapon. And the ammunition for your mind? It's data. Your mission, from now on, is to build the ultimate advantage, your own personal operational database.
This is it. This is the main directive. This is your new mantra. Every single thing you do, every engagement you take, every time you die, it's no longer a failure. It's just an opportunity to collect data. You are a scientist in a lab, and the battlefield is your experiment. So what does that look like in the real world? This is your engagement log. You don't just remember what happened, you document it with brutal honesty. You record your observation, your hypothesis, your action, the outcome, and most critically, the lesson. Notice here the outcome was a miss. That miss is now pure gold. It's the most valuable piece of data you have, because it forces you to go back and update your database.
So listen up, because this is a big one. We are completely reframing your entire goal. Your primary mission is no longer to win the match. Your mission is to collect clean, honest data for your database. You got to trust me on this. Winning will simply become the natural byproduct of that process. Focus on the process, not the outcome.
And that's our briefing. The theory has been laid out, the tools have been provided. The only question left is a choice that you have to make, right here, right now. Will you continue to be a reactive shooter, or are you ready to start the shadow work and become a hunter? The choice is yours. Class dismissed. Go collect data.